So it was yesterday morning. I was praying. This region they fight up and every day. The Ukraine, Russia, that region. Please, I will tell the world, commercial plane should not pass there because I'm seeing a commercial plane again crash again. So they will say to me, Joshua, I have said it again. The answer is not to pass that region because I'm seeing a load full passengers crash. That region, it will not be between the Ukraine and Russia this time, but it's a close region to that place, neighboring region. Commercial planes should not pass there. If you have anywhere you are going, those commercial planes, please take care. Don't pass there because I'm seeing a full passenger crash again. So please.
So turning back to the story that we've been following all morning long, a China Eastern Boeing 737 plane has crashed in the southern part of the country. There is no word yet on whether anyone has survived the crash. Officials say rescue crews have been sent to the site. So for more on this, we want to bring in CBS News transportation safety analyst Robert Sumwalt. He's also a former chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board. Robert, I'm so happy you were here today. First, let's just start with this plane. The aircraft is a Boeing 737-800. What can you tell us about this type of plane?
Well, good morning, Anne-Marie. I think it's really important to point out that this is not the 737 MAX that had two crashes three and a half years ago and was subsequently grounded. This is indeed a 737, but it's not the MAX. It's the 737-800. So I think that's important to point out right off the bat.
Robert, is this the same model used by domestic airlines in the United States?
Yes, the 737-800 is widely used by several of the major airlines here in the United States.
And so how would you describe China's safety record?
Well, generally good. It's gotten much better over the years. 20 years ago, it wasn't as good as we would like for it to be. Of course, any crash is catastrophic, but over the last few years, they've been adopting most of the best practices of Western nations, such as the United States. So they do have a good safety record at this point, but that doesn't discount the fact that there's a tragedy there today.
Robert, the crash, from what we know, occurred in a remote mountainous area of the country. It seems like that rough terrain might complicate rescue efforts.
Well, absolutely, Mullah. It is a very, as you just showed there, it is a very mountainous area. I'm not optimistic that there are survivors. This airplane plunged from a high altitude, and I hate to say it, I don't think there's any survivors. As far as the ability to conduct the investigation, airplanes these days are constantly downlinking altitude information, airspeed information, all types of information. So I don't think that the ability, perhaps the inability to access the wreckage site right now will complicate the investigative efforts.
Now, I know you people who have worked with the NTSB, you are not prone to speculation, but I am going to ask you a couple questions in regards to, what Mullah brought up about the mountainous region. Could that have an impact on this plane's flight, whether it's in relation to weather or, maybe something that we may be less familiar with that you might be aware of?
Well, you're right. I don't want to sound like I'm speculating, but mountains, from a meteorological point of view, can create a mountain wave activity, which will send air currents upward very quickly, and sometimes that can be a factor in an accident. But it's too early to say right now what may have caused this plane to come down, but whatever it was a catastrophic event, an airplane descending that quickly out of the sky. Something badly happened to cause the pilots to lose control of that airplane.
Robert, this has less to do with the mechanics of flying and the plane itself, but can we expect full transparency from the Chinese in an investigation like this?
Well, given that it's a U.S. manufactured airplane, the NTSB, by international treaties, should be invited to participate in this investigation. So it will be the Chinese government's investigation, but the NTSB should be a part of it. So what the Chinese government does with it, that's really up to them. But I do feel good knowing that that the NTSB and Boeing and probably even the FAA.
So it was yesterday morning, I was praying. This region, they fight up and every day. The Ukraine, Russia, that region. Please, I will tell the world, commercial plane should not pass there, because I'm seeing a commercial plane again crash again. So they will say to me, Joshua, I have said it again. The answer is not to pass that region, because I'm seeing a load full passengers crash. That region, it will not be between the Ukraine and Russia this time, but it's a close region to that place, neighboring region. Commercial planes should not pass there. If you have anywhere you are going, those commercial planes, please take care. Don't pass there, because I'm seeing a full passenger crash again. That's so, please.